The date is, oh, Siri's going to answer
Starlog.
that. March 19th, 2021. And this is the Board State. The Board State is a podcast where we discuss articles of game design for social good. We missed a couple of weeks because of a certain person with the initials of JH. We're not going to point him out. We'll let you draw that conclusion of who that is.
His name sounds
Alika,
like
come
Yak
on.
Lobs.
Come on,
It-
Alika. Next,
Jobs, hack jobs.
Hack jobs.
Alika, we
Uh,
all know it's you. Next time,
Yeah, the J in my name is silent.
Yes.
So every week we pick out an episode that stood out to us in relation to game design for social good. My name is Jeffrey Vierra, also known as
Hi,
Mr.V.
I am Alika Spanaihe, also known as Alika.
Oh, my name is Jack Hobbs.
Jack, what is your background today? I'm just curious.
Oh, it's the picture I took a while back.
A cloudy sky and a tree.
Yeah, if underneath that was sunset.
Ah, okay. Cool.
Oh,
All right. Thanks, man.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, it's getting more and more.
Pickle.
Yeah.
the reserves are
Yeah.
growing once again.
I know I'm getting closer and closer. It's like to leave my room is like an obstacle course. I feel like I'm playing like a video game whenever I walk off. I'm like I'm going underneath. Like the pendulum swinging back and forth all the time.
Every time you get injured, the medic is like, "Okay, how is your person now?"
The hidden temple. Don't
Yeah.
break
Like
your ankle.
like my wife stands at the door. Here, your food is here. Like she would come in. It's like treacherous. Right. All right. First article of today is one that I picked. I don't know how I came across it. I don't remember. I think I found this one last week. This is probably going to be the most important article and link that I will ever post for this show. These guys are who I was looking for. So what the Indie Game Alliance does is they specifically are a organization that helps tabletop and education initiatives across the board. And they help them find funding, they help them with curriculum, they help them with design, they do contests. They're just this amazing alliance. I haven't joined yet. I don't know why. I've been. It's just one more thing to do. But yeah, it's just really, really, really cool. Yeah, Hawaii's. Oh, wait a minute.
So I actually have a story on that. So
Hey, who's
Oh,
that?
Maui.
uh
That's Maui.
huh.
Maui in
Yeah.
the house.
Who's Cobalt Plasma Games?
I
Interesting.
actually have a funny story to tell
Okay.
about.
All right. Yeah. Go for it. Well, that's me. Why don't we go to your thoughts on this article, Jack?
Well, so the first time I saw this article, I was like, "Oh, awesome! Another organization that's helping out with social good. Something that we keep on trying to push." And then I go down and saw 1,549 creators, and because it's Google, it recommends, the nearest one near you. And I saw that creator, and I'm like, "Hey, isn't that the same guy that made that game that was help demoing?" And it was. So basically, these guys helped made a local living card game of sorts. And I had the privilege of taking a couple of their games and demoing it. And also coming up with some suggestions that I actually forgot to give. Mostly because me and a couple of the other friends I was with at the time, we didn't really know how to understand the rules. We kind of just like know what? Let's play it and let's look at the artwork. And a lot of the artwork was based off of mythologies coming from Polynesia, coming from Nordic times, but especially coming from Asian to Oceanic. And I always loved that art style. Yeah, Jeff, Mr. V is showing to the audience right now if you're watching it on YouTube. But the best way I'm going to describe it to you on audio is a mixture of Pan Asian and Pan Oceania with touches of medieval and Titanfall. That's the best way I could describe it. And if the rule set, I'm not gonna lie, was confusing, but the people who made the game was local game creators, and this was their passion project. And they even was able to get in contact with I think other realms to for them to start saying their product. So I really encourage more people to really look more into these organizations because even though they may have like, oh, well, doing educational focus right now, it can really be something well, it can also lead to people's passion projects and having that be education on itself and having that really showcase like what they want to do. And
Damn.
I said, most likely the rules are just me and my friends read it wrong because it was like how you will play the Kingdom Death Monster or uh what was the other one that Lord of the Rings Living Card game. That one from Fantasy Flight. If you haven't really played it before, then it's gonna be a hard time playing it without instructions. And it's even more harder when you don't have a YouTube or don't know where to look it up on YouTube. So like by going and doing these organizations, it allows people like me who buy their product and who wants to give them feedback more. Okay, well, I can't to contact them to let them know. Hey, I am confused about this ruling. Could you give us a hand? So it's
Yeah, they
more,
could definitely use some mechanics overhaul, but man, the art, bruh.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the and so it's really a benefit for the developer, benefit for the consumer, and also the student. So it's a win-win-win. Support it now before the empire comes.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome.
Uh, oh, the
Wow.
funny
And
story
from
too.
Hawaii, right on.
And funny story too is that these guys, I met them and they're like, "Oh, you cosplay, yeah?" And I'm like, "Yeah, shoot."
Oh, they're
Well,
not cool anymore. Never mind.
oh,
Click.
uh,
Click. Nah. Never
no,
mind.
no, but they was like,
Nerds.
they were like, they were like, hey, we're thinking about adding like other like stuff from the local comic book that I was cosplaying as, and I'm like, shoot, I think they will be welcome to open to work with you guys. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that game looks the art in
mhm.
particular looks pretty epic. That's some pretty sick concept art. I like it. Um yeah, so I think this is cool. There's an actual network out there for indie gamers that help indie develop or not gamers, indie developers get all the support they need to put stuff out and yeah,
I love
just
it.
get out
Yep.
there
Yep.
because it's
Wow, that's
tough.
cool. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next article is from Jack with some, again, Jack loves these articles with tons of ads on it.
I
For
know. I was
some
trying to
reason,
read
he
it, and I was just
loves.
like, "Bruh,
I
this is
know. Sorry, listeners. I don't know. He just likes
this is an
those.
ADD landmine, man."
I know. Should I
I
say
know,
that?
I know, but it was the only
Do
one I
this.
found about it.
Let's see here. No, actually,
So,
no.
Oh, okay. Here you
No,
go.
no,
You
no. I
get a
don't want
sneak peek into
I was
Ultimate
gonna
Hacker.
disable the elements, but never mind. It just.
Oh, right there. There's
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
There we
God.
go. Let's
Okay.
get rid of
All
that.
right, Jack.
Okay.
What is this article about?
So in natural,
It's about advertisements. Yeah, go ahead.
when when one eye falls, the other three will take its place. Nah, nah, nah. Um, it it's really about talking about this game called World War Two. Reconstruction.
Rebuilder?
Or Rebuilder. Sorry, and it's really telling people to get onto this because there really hasn't been a World War Two game that really focus on that type of subject. Normally, you see games portraying World War Two. It's usually you're in the conflict and you're playing either as the Axis Alliance or the Allies, and in different fronts as a military commando, as a politician. You're not really a person after that war. You and even if you are, then you often are like a resistance fighter because the Nazis won World War Two. Like that certain stuff's always been a apparent in the genre of World War Two.
What is with the history of bisexuality in gaming? Like what? Okay.
It's this news article. It's the only one I found that was reporting about this game, and I learned about it in Natural when I was playing a couple of my other studios on World War Two, and they were like, "Oh, bro, you need to check out this game," and I'm like,
Who
"Oh,
said
well,
that?
fuck,
Who said that? Somebody from the game said that?
yeah." Because on the server I
As
was
you're
playing
playing the
on,
game, this NPC in the game turns around like he has
no,
like this
it's
Nazi.
okay. So
He's like, Hola, Sir Vine, Vine.
con-
Yo, bro, you gotta go check out this. Goes
context
back to
needed.
Sir
The
Vines.
game is held at use and it's a multiplayer game. At the time, somebody was near
He's
me
like,
and
yo,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, that's exactly what happened. And
Wow.
I'm like,
How did you know? Were you
Surreal.
there? Were you
This
there?
is surreal. Wow. I want to play that game where people can just turn around and be like, what'd you have for dinner? Ramen.
I kid you not, and it was so entertaining. And I'm like, shoot, let me look it up. And I found this game, and it really gave me the. I really wish more game developers would do this, though. Talking in the context of like, oh, how do you rebuild history, or how do you rebuild after a war? And it's never really been portrayed in most medias as it was never seen as entertaining. But if this game does well, I could really see like more people like discovering other conflicts or other topics like, oh, after Hurricane Katrina, there's all this debris. Now you need to rebuild after that. Like these types of games could really come out if this is successful. And I really just wanted to get as much support as I can.
What do you think, Alika?
Oh, I thought this was super cool. Just reading about just that whole concept of rebuilding after the war. I think that's awesome because we have enough destruction games. So I think this is pretty cool. Cool concept that you get to rebuild after, and reading into it where you get to take the materials of all of the things, the scrap that you pick up and clean up. You get to take those materials and decide what you want to build with it. It's a really cool concept. I thought it was a very awesome article.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
absolutely. I remember there's this game, and we actually played it, Jack. Warsaw,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Where you start off on like a certain time frame, and then the war happens, and you keep building on top of the city. So it starts off like really beautiful. There's like peninsula in Warsaw and whatnot, and then the war happens, and you're continually building over it and over it and over, and it's and it's a board game. And so we're trying to, we're like, oh, I don't want to build over this palace, but we need food for the people. Okay, I'm gonna put a tile on it. And it like hurt. Like, oh gosh, that was this monument of Kamehameha that I just covered up like that.
Oh,
But it's like you gotta eat. But yeah, it's this really cool game. But you're bounded in a 4 by 12 whatever hex grid, and you're just kind of building these tiles. Yeah, I think it's like super cool. I love this idea. I would love if they did like other areas. I would love to like recreate modern Hawaii, because it's not like a World War II, but it might as well be like in our
Right.
Kaka'ako, Soba, hipster area of Hawaii, where these like
it is destruction.
just $1 trillion apartments that no logos can afford.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And-
like have this crane that's gonna like like throws it,
Mhm.
throw it back to China or whatever. Like, here, you guys want to live over here? Shoo! And then like building, just like, and then this hand comes in with like dirt and like make water. Like that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But like the power of this game too is also like it could convince people to actually start doing it too. Like
Yeah.
for example, like when I was looking at the trailer for this one, it was giving an emphasis on whatever you're doing, you need to do it like on the ground. There is no like magical hand that will guide you.
I want
And
that. That'd be cool, like a fist, like in Waikiki, like punching. That'd be awesome, dude. And it's funny,
It's a
right?
big
Like,
brown fist.
yeah, like little kids are like, you're like, boom, boom, like all these buildings, like taking out these giant hands and just like throwing it, and like, woo, 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 and goes into space. And then like a face comes in and like, achoo, and all these like dirt. That'd be so cool. So
You just
cool.
take some water.
Yeah, like you carve like from the mouth, you put your hand inside, dang, and like VR, right? Yeah, like VR.
Oh, that would be nuts.
Yeah,
I
you
think
walk
people
as you
will-
walking around, yeah, and you got to be really careful. Oh, okay, that's forest over there. I gotta walk real careful. All right,
I think
building,
people-
kick that building. Boom.
Oh, Jeff, there you go.
I
That's
think
a new game idea.
Godzilla. I think that's Godzilla. You just made a game about Godzilla.
Godzilla
Well-
don't plant farms, bro.
Yeah, he doesn't plant farms. Godzilla's
Yeah,
not a
he make
farmer.
plants, yeah. And then
He's-
transportation, right? So it's like, you pick up kids, bring up to school.
Thank you. Like they saying thank you and waving to the magic.
And it's cool. It's like the whole game is just from like your waist down, so it's just like your feet, but then somehow like your hands are kind of too long, but like so you don't have to worry about like how you look. So it's just your feet and your hands. All the people kind of look up like, hey, it's and whatever your name is, and it comes out, Jack. It just they don't actually say it, but it shows up. Like, Jack, can you take me to the store? Your hand comes down.
No.
Get on your hand, like, oops,
No,
I'm walking over.
And then it could be like, oh, Bob, could you take me up? And then he's just trying to give like a conversation. Bob, I lost my job earlier today, and
Oh, that's sad. Nah, we don't listen to embarrassing, bro. You don't know what you have down here, okay? All right. You gotta go.
Or
back
like
to
you gotta
South-
bring them
South
up to your
Oahu.
ear so you can hear what they're saying, and it's too
Wow.
high in the air. And
I love it.
That'd be
I
an
love
interesting
it.
game.
Like, and then you get like a quest, like an investor meeting. They want to go build more buildings. You go over there, like.
It's an investor meeting. You go to the office building, you just
oh, it's we're gonna have advertisements on the only oracle for this only game. And
Can you imagine
they
imagine
go-
bending down and just like, oh, there's an investor meeting going on. It's just your face staring into the window.
and
What do you say?
the investors are like,
Yeah, the
They're like,
building, right? Like giant.
We're gonna build farms. We're gonna build more farms for local food production, food sovereignty. Okay.
we're gonna help you with education, right? People,
That would actually be, I mean, a game idea definitely, but that'd be a cool animation.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be like this really cool, like this little boy's dream or something,
If Kane returned.
little boy, he dreams that he's a giant, and the first thing he does, he has all this anger. He's like, like punches the water and stuff, and then he turns around and he sees all these buildings, and then he's like, I'm gonna go knock those buildings down. Then he goes like punch it, boom, and there's all these like wealthy people inside, like spilling their cocktails, like their martinis. Like, oh, what's happening here?
Wow, that'd be an interesting game to track data with. Like if you just let a whole bunch of people, you don't explain anything, and you're just a giant in Hawaii, and you just track what people destroyed and what people maintained, and be like, wow, you can see what
That's
people
actually
value.
very cool. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and then you have the evil empire coming in.
Oh boy.
You know what? I'm gonna apply some sanitized lotion to my hands, because that just sounded really gross.
That sounded gross.
Dirtier. I feel a little dirtier. Put it on my ears here.
Oh, but there is one thing I need to mention about the game. It actually allows you to go into not just these street level, but from the developer notes, also they were planning on going into these historical buildings, and like before the war, you have like a clip of what it was supposed to look like, and then during the war, what actually happened, and it's up to you now to rebuild it.
I think it'd be really important in game design wise is like I always think about like, how do you get players to care about what you're playing, right? So
Right.
it's like in this game, I mean, there's this one reward, there's a certain reward where you're just rebuilding a city, and that's certainly very cool and honorable and whatnot. But like, I wonder if like you could have like families like, yay, like they come out,
Yay,
right?
Dick.
You restore like a neighborhood, and they're like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Or like stats, like because of your effort, you saved, so many lives, or something like that. Just something that when you're doing it, you get this dopamine,
It's
like
instant feedback.
Yeah, like bam, like yeah, I think it'd be cool. Even the dog is like, roof.
More places for me to poop.
Wow. Yeah, there you go. All right. Any other input on this?
Okay, and if you're curious on what server and what game I was on, Hell Let Loose 506.
What was it?
Hell Let Loose 506. The game I was playing, Hell Let Loose, and then under the server name 506.
What is Hell Let Loose?
It's a multiplayer game where you
let loose.
Yeah. Hell Let Loose.
As Americans or as the German army, doing different battlefields. It's fun.
Got it. Yeah. Click. All right. Was this a Jack article? I noticed there's a ad here.
I think it was
advertisement.
Advertisement, Jack.
I will call advertisement here, and I will call a semi-nuclear war on it.
All right. No, this is actually Alika's article. And this is by the ScienceDaily.com, and it is playing board games may help protect thinking skills in old age. Alika, what is this article about?
So they took a bunch of these scientists went and did some research, and from the University of Edinburgh, University or School of Philosophy, Psychology, and Language Sciences. They ended up.
I'll be right back.
Following, huh?
I'm gonna step out for a second. I'll be right back.
Okay. So they ended up following a group of people in their 70s for about 9 years, and also incorporating into their study the same group of people had taken intelligence tests when they were 11 years old. So they got this long-term view of their cognitive function and how it may have risen or declined. And they followed them, this group, while they played some games, and they found that older people who play board games, in particular, board and card games, tactile games, physical analog games, showed a significant decrease in cognitive decline compared to, you know, control groups and others, as they aged. So I thought this was pretty fascinating. And I mean, of course, we know that people of our age, you know, all age groups benefit from gaming because it increases your cognitive function, your reflexes, your ability to process information. It speeds that up. But I had not seen specifically in older age how gaming affects people in older age. We covered Alzheimer's. I know Jeff, you brought up that article where we covered Alzheimer's and how gaming can relieve the symptoms of that. But with this, it was just cool to see that, you know, regular people, as they start aging, you could significantly decrease the cognitive decline that comes with that, with analog gaming. So yeah, that's what this article is about, and I just thought it was really cool, and I think it would be an interesting project to make games for kupuna for older people.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and to just bring them into the fold as well, because gaming is a unifier. It unites all people who are playing it, and analog games seem to be a lot more approachable than digital games for older people. And as younger people play more games and gaming becomes a more not acceptable, but a more popular form of pastimes, and losing its negative stigma that it gained in the 90s and 80s. I think that would be a cool project to get older people into it now. So as they get older, younger people and older people can continue to communicate over gaming, and, you know, might help the fabric of society overall.
Definitely. All right, what are your thoughts on this, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, we have touched articles like this before, and it's always that feel good articles, you know, that we know as gamers and as game developers that it's always true to the case, but it's always welcoming to have more articles and more people just like bringing these subjects out, because of course there was the days where there really wasn't that many people talking about the positives of gaming, and I'd rather have a constant flow of these articles coming out every day instead of the opposite. Well, it wasn't, and we really didn't see that many articles talking about it in general. And the science studies, I'm actually curious how they did the research, and if how they did the parental consent, and how they managed to keep the track like unbiased for that long. Other than that, you know, just expect more research papers like this, because gaming has been shown to be a route that can cover a lot of things, from filmmaking to map making to navigation to helping preserving history. Gaming is be gonna show you find itself more aligned with research papers, especially after the pandemic. The pandemic in World War Warcraft. Cough, cough.
What just happened? Are you okay, Jack? You seem like you
Yeah,
were
I tried
starting
to
to choke for some reason.
no, I tried to did a stick about the blood pandemic.
He has the most articulate cough in the world.
Got it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I know me is gonna probably make like you know pictures of the blood pandemic just to explain it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how you edit this.
I don't know how you don't give me pink eye every time. It's squinting eyes and like just shaking my head like, what?
I get pink ear. I get pink ear.
It's like I get enlightened by Alika, and then like I'm just like, what? Are you coughing? Are you choking? Do I need to call?
We need the balance.
Yeah.
We need the
balance. Yeah. There's order, which is from Alika, and then there's chaos.
Chaos.
Yeah, which is from Mr.
Rolls the
V.
dice. Up 1, up 6. Ah!
Which is from Mr. V.
Ah!
You didn't catch that, eh?
Yeah,
Mr. V?
No,
what
it
if
didn't.
Two-Face had a D6? He like sixes and just just not like.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. It's so
We need to,
bad.
you gotta do. Oh my god, you gotta do a skit. You gotta do a skit
It's
with
so
that.
sad though. Like,
Let's find out if you're lucky, bub.
like 6
Going
options.
off.
I didn't
What's a
six.
3?
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I've got to
guess you are
consult the
lucky.
manual. What is that? What does that mean? DM? What is a 4 equal?
Those people like with bombs strapped to them and stuff. You're just like,
Oh, you gotta make a new
Oh,
villain. You gotta make a new villain, the gamer or something. Just like this psycho board gamer that loses his mind, becomes a mastermind.
But
The DM.
Rules. No, it ain't the DM. The rules lawyer, and he has like the book of
Screw that
DMD.
oh,
The
and
rules
he's-
lawyer.
Yeah,
that'd be
here,
super fun.
Section 8, I get to steal you. Wait,
Yeah,
I
he
get
just
to
gets
steal
punched
your
in the
soul.
face, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
that's it. That'd be a
that
short
would be
episode.
that'd be the best sidekick for the DM. The
Mhm.
DM, the rules lawyer is a punching bag for the DM. Well, actually, it says here in section 7. Boo! Get out of here.
It's like I think there has to be something associated with like childhood trauma, you know, with rules like it's like they're just like bruh, or you know, I don't think I should say it on air. Like a particular friend of mine, very
All your friends are gonna be like, is he talking about me?
well.
Okay.
I will be playing Bloodborne with them tonight. One particular, so even last week, so we're playing Bloodborne, and this particular person, he's one of a twin. he was like arguing with the guy that brought the game. He's like, you know, like on this rule,
So
and
specific.
like it didn't even matter. I'm just like, so I'm just, you know, I sat back, you know, because I don't want. I'm just like, okay, here we go again, and then you know,
Here we
finally,
go
you
again.
know, 5 minutes, and like my other friend, it's like there's like 4 of us there, right? So they're not gonna narrow this down.
They're totally
my
gonna
poor
know.
other friend, yeah, he's just like, man, look, I didn't write the rules. This is the way it works. And then this other person is just like, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I'm just like, and then finally I was just like, all right, we're getting nowhere. I was like, guys, how great does that impact the game right now? Like if he's right or you're right, how does that affect the game right now? Oh, it really doesn't. Okay. Can we just look it up later and keep playing?
Bingo.
Like let's come on. Let's just yeah. So tonight I'm gonna if that comes out, I'm gonna get into a deep dive with that person tonight. I'm just gonna say, like, hold on, guys. The game's over. Can I talk to you, twin number
Did
8?
you ever feel like no
I'm
one
gonna be
ever
like,
listened to you as a child?
can I ask you just a really personal question? And you know, please don't get offended. I just want to get to the root of this issue. When was the last time you got laid?
Oh wow.
Oh my god!
Just because like I
You're so
just it's gonna be
mean.
like "Ugh," because like no, I just no please just hear me out because like that frustration is coming out.
From somewhere. The poison has
It's like a
risen.
balloon. There's like a weak part of the balloon where the air is trying to just because you know I just want to understand. I want to get to the root of this issue.
You've got a
Anyway,
bubble on your tire, the size of your tire.
that's it. Yeah, it's just like, oh, because I mean, and that's why my other group of friends can't play with those guys because every so often, man, he'll just be like, you know, it's a +3. Oh my god, you know, according my interpretation, it's just like, oh man, these rules.
Oh,
lawyers,
yeah.
like, who cares? It's a game. It's a
Opening
game.
arguments.
We're not arguing over CPR. Like you were gonna save this guy's life if you mess up. You know, it's like a fictitious world where we're having fun. We're not having fun when you're arguing rules.
Also in the courtroom, the
Right?
defendant, we open up with opening arguments.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. No, for real. It's exactly. It's just like, yeah. Anyway.
If you are that person that Mr. V
Sounds like you're gonna have a great time tonight, man.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
If you know that person that Mr.V/Jeffrey is, then on behalf of this podcast, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Right, right. Okay. Sorry, Jack. Any other any other comments
No,
on this
I just
article?
honestly want to encourage people, especially those researchers, to keep on making these research papers because the more peoples they are, the more you can actually it could be an actual thing where researchers go in and be like, oh, I'm going to study the ways of gaming and how that affects on human psyche or how gaming affects other industries. And that could be an actual study. And what makes it validated is these papers. So keep doing the good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And if you do want to check out more research, there is a surprising amount of research papers on gaming.
good.
So ScienceDaily.com, TheConversation.com, and Newzoo.com has some very, very good scientific articles on gaming. Sorry, go ahead,
Yeah.
Jay.
No, no, no. Yeah. Um, yeah, there's quite a lot of even if you just search like I don't remember what the sub link is, but if you just Google like actual not Google it, but like Google academic papers, there's all this stuff on like game design. Of course, Gamma Sutra, BGG has like a whole game design discussion and things like that. And I feel like we are entering an age where we're figuring out smoking isn't good for you. You know, like
Yeah, yeah,
the data is starting to emerge where like everyone sees their uncles and their mothers and when everybody die, I'm like, it's like their heads like like they're like
yeah,
croaking. They're like, I
yeah,
think it's bad for you. And they're like, not according to Marlboro.
yeah,
Marlboro's doctor said, but now we're beginning like so like now in like
yeah.
game design, where the old stereotype is like, gaming is like a waste of time,
It's
since
gonna melt your
escapism.
brain.
Yeah, it's gonna rot your brain. But now the science is beginning to prove otherwise. The benefits of playing game in the right kind of setting, of course. Uh, but yeah, this article, man. So if listeners, we're gonna link all this in the show notes, but he describes it, and what I like about this article is it's like this big, right? It's like from here to here. You don't have to like, well, I mean, I love, I mean, you can see behind me tons of books. I love reading for depth, but it's nice that they
Yeah,
were able to chunk down that whole study, in these paragraphs. But yeah, so if you take a look at it, right, like they started in like the 30s and they like track these people. This is a long study, so it's really
yeah,
cool what they did. And yeah, man, I mean, when I'm done playing board games, not with the friends I just mentioned, I'm kidding, with them included, like I am just charged. Like I'm just like rah, just like my brains are just like, and depending on the game, of course, but like I'm just like I just feel like I just activated every part of my brain, the creative side, the thinking side, the analytical side, logic, all this imagination, like just everything. And like and I took control of my narrative, right? So I didn't passively sit back and watch something unfold before me. Like I was able to control and take part of this experience. um yeah, I mean, this is a great testament to that. um I'm a big believer in this as well. Also to go to tack on to what you were saying with making games for Kumu, I think that's a brilliant idea. And the thought that came in my mind when you were saying that was making games targeting like a demographic, right? So like
yeah,
make games for like single mothers, right? Like whatever, but but like you design it with that, yeah, with that audience in mind. Not just we're designing this gaming app for teens, or we're creating this social
yeah.
network for teens or whatever. It's like
Not such
we're
a
we're
broad
being,
net.
yeah, we're being super specific, right? And it's like this game isn't really intended for you. If you dig it, that's cool, but it's it's made for bus drivers. You know, like whatever.
Yeah.
I think it'd be very, very cool, because on the design side, we have like super focus, right? Like super focus. What type of art they like, what kind of mechanics, the weight and the complexity of the game. You know, we're just have like laser focus, because we don't have to worry about it being super accessible for building it for scientists. You know.
Yeah.
So I love that idea, and especially like, cool, you could do like a dexterity kind of game where they're gonna like stand up and, you know, balance things on their head, or like whatever, you know. Um,
Get
I love it.
lawsuits.
No, no, no. I mean,
Nah.
they have like
Be a boo
what's that game? It's called Flex or something, I think it is. Remember the one where you put the strap on your head with the crane? I don't know if I ever brought
Oh
it up
yeah.
before.
Yeah.
And you have like a thing you have to build, and it's like a magnet on the end. You have to like pick up the pieces and try to move them with your head like around. I mean, like stuff like that, right? It's like engaging, and
That
you know, your
was an
like pattern
actual game.
recognition and spatial reasoning. Yeah.
That was an actual game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got you have this like attachment that you strap on your head with like Velcro, and it has this little crane at the end, and you gotta you have to form stuff with that crane, and it was challenging. It was pretty challenging
Yeah, so
for
you flip over
younger
a
people.
card, and then the card will have what you have to build on your side. You flip over another card, and they have to build with, you know, on their side. And it's like a group, so it's like group versus group, and they're kind of shouting out at you, because it's like time, like you have like a sand timer or something, I don't remember, but it's definitely time. And you have, you know, you're like racing to pick up different colors of pieces, so it's not just like the L that's used in Tetris, it's like the red L, so you got to pick up the red L and move it and like place it down, and some of them are like stacked up, so you can like stack stuff on top of it. You're like, yeah.
Before my
turns
time.
out turns out good drinking dexterity games are also good for the elderly.
Yeah, actually, yeah. That's definitely one of those
Yeah.
things, right, guys?
Oh, bro, just drop it off at a old folks home. Everybody's all
Oh,
boss on Saturday night at the community center in the old folks home.
Be
yeah,
like, who started it?
I think that'd be a really cool exploratory design field, is to build for like a specific, like, you know, elderly or whatever, like a cook training game or something like, you know, we're doing with Havina. It's very targeted, right? So
Yeah.
we know the audience, we know the weight and all that. Yeah.
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 I think we should employ that into our the next couple games.
Well, this next one that we're
Well,
building,
we are.
the well, for that, I think the target audience is us. I think we're building kind of like our naughty, like a naughty version of us. You know, we're like,
Weirdos.
okay, like
Yeah.
this, like very visceral, like almost anti theory craft this game.
Yeah.
Welcome
You
to
know?
the Jack game.
Yeah. The alternative. It's the inverse.
Look at Mr.V saying. No, I actually wanted to add
Yeah,
to the
go
article
for it, man.
when you was mentioning about how it makes you feel, and then I'm like, I will always remember the article. I think you actually found it, Alika. Well, it was talking about the spiritual need and how that is also the connections to ball gaming and how the new
Mm.
religious sects are doing it now. And so I was like, yeah, and now you could have gaming for even for subjects that you may not consider gamifiable. Now is going to be gamified in
That
a
was my
way.
article of the year too,
Yeah.
man. I love
Mhm.
that article.
Yeah.
with that
Article of
with
the
that
decade.
with that feeling that they get, right? It's like of
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
divine reverence, you know, and this same, like the same part of their, you know, soul, if you want to call it soul, like whatever, like
Right.
that state
The
that they're
force.
entering, the force. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, right. But that euphoric elation, um like the way they describe it is like Christ-like, you know.
Yeah. A
Mhm.
spiritual experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. It was mystical experience,
Mm.
which
Yep.
is like you usually have to ingest something to achieve that, and for it to be activated by something like a game that's mind blowing. And to know that we make those things is pretty cool too.
Wow, that's so cool. Engines
Yeah.
of experience. I love
Yeah.
it. Wow.
The infinity train for reals.
Yeah.
Wow, you're absolutely right, Alika. Whereas, yeah, we're developing this system, and then you get to like hand it to people and be like, go play in that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
literally, right? Go
That's the
play in
most
I-
that.
amazing part of designing games to me, is
Wow.
that we're designing experiences for people. Like that's where,
Mhm.
like, how do you, it's like well, not with any hubris, but it's godlike, you know,
Mhm.
like for you to create this little playground for someone's mind to wander through and learn about themselves with. Like that's super cool.
I would think like any big artists, especially the good ones, in my opinion, not to say, oh, you need to be like self what is it, self uh indulgence, self, it's something to do with yourself and being
Indulgent?
obnoxious. I
Oh,
yeah,
Self-indulgent,
yeah.
self-centered,
So
narcissistic.
self-centered, not
Okay,
narcissistic, self-centered, all
all
of
of that.
that.
Okay.
yep.
But they, as a game developers and then editing stuff, I always feel like okay, it's always the best people who do that is often can make experiences out of nothing, you know?
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it's just following the clues of greatness. Like
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
when you see that in other people, then you kind of know it inside. Like that is something that I want to emulate somehow. So it's not like I say, like it's not with any hubris. It's not saying it with boasting about ourselves, but
Right.
to know that that's what we aspire to godlike in that sense, to create an experience that is so effective and impactful that you change somebody's mind. That's something that is something to look forward to, and as a game designer, something to aspire to. That's like a standard, a
Mm-hmm.
benchmark.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so that's gonna do it for
Thanks
our
for coming to
show.
our TED Talk.
Yep,
Yeah.
thank you. Mic drop.
Question of the day.
Yeah.
We don't have a
Do we
question
have
of the
one?
day. Nope.
Okay. Do we
Jack.
want to make one?
Nope.
No?
To
Okay.
make one. What?
Do we want to make one right now? Question of the day.
My Santa Claus apparently.
Mr. V.
Welcome to chaos, my friends. Well, up is down, down is up, and left is gonna take you nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jack, where can they send us questions if they have any?
At theboardstate@gmail.com.
That's right. All right, that's gonna do
Why
it for
you
this
have
week.
to follow me? Why you have
All
to
right,
follow me?
guys.
That's gonna do it. Thanks for listening.
Shoots.
Oh my gosh.
Why you have to follow me down,
Jack.
Alika?
Oh, what? What did he do?
No, when